worth it.
Hey, good evening and welcome to the Girl Talk Sunday podcast. I am your host and your favorite, Sandi BestLife Jones, and I am here to help my vintage sisters discover the purpose and the plan for your life through honoring God, honoring your body, and owning your worth. Yes, we are a faith-based platform. Therefore, all who come in peace are welcome. So glad to see everybody. Welcome back to the Girl Talk Sunday Sofa. Welcome back to the Sunday Sisterhood. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am excited about tonight's show because I was on YouTube minding my business about a month ago, and this gentleman's one of his videos popped up in my YouTube, recommended it for me. And so I was watching it, and in the video, he was talking about his book and gave a little bit insight about what the book is about, why he wrote the book, what the message of the book is. And it was very intriguing to me. And so I said, I wonder if I reach out to him, will he come on the show to talk about the book? So I sent a message on Instagram, I sent a message on Facebook, and a couple days later, I got a reply, and he agreed to come on the show and talk about the book. So we did a little quick pre-interview, and the rest is history. He is here tonight. He is in the green room. We're going to bring out Sir Walter Jones in just a few minutes. But before we do, I want to introduce him properly. I need you to know who is here with us tonight in the person of Sir Walter Jones. Sir Walter is an award-winning author and writer with a vast musical background. As a Chicago native, he is a radio host, skilled pianist, keyboard player, and music producer. Walter serves his community as well as his social media platforms as minister, pastor, and prolific teacher. His love of helping others guides his life coaching and online media courses. Walter spends most of his hours studying and teaching the Word of God and working endlessly as pastor and CEO of The Bunkers, an international social media church without walls. 1,800 plus strong, y'all, just so you know, where he offers free and paid classes for Bible students interested in a deeper dive into the Word of God. He is associate minister at Faith Temple Church, founder and creator of Sunday School University, and founder and creator of the Sir Walter Jones Show, a Christian talk show. And on any given day, this beloved father of two can be found spending quality time with his grandchildren. Sir Walter Jones is here. There he is.
Here I am.
Hey.
I'm over here monitoring while you're talking about some dude. I'm not sure who that dude is.
Welcome to the Girl Talk Sunday Sofa. I am delighted to have you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me to such a wonderful talk, girl talk, right here.
Absolutely. Girl talk with a man. I mean, hey.
That should be a thumbnail right there with me doing that. Girl talk, right here.
That's right. I will make sure I do that. All right. So it's funny because interesting because when you saw my message, when you reached out, you said you normally don't even check your Facebook inbox.
No, not my Sir Walter Jones Show business page. No, hardly ever. Not much activity goes on in the inbox. On the page, on the wall, all my shows are on the wall, but
right
in the inbox. So just that day, I decided to just go check, and boom, I saw Jones, and I thought you was related.
I might be. We don't know. We do not know.
We don't know. We don't know because Jones is so uncommon.
Well, I just think that this interview was meant to happen. I
believe it.
I have read this book twice.
Wow.
Because first of all, I read it. I was going to read it for research purposes anyway, but then I read it again because I wanted to really absorb what it was that I was reading. And then as I was reading it the second time, I had some questions that I needed to jot down for you. So we're going to dive right into those questions. But before we get into the book, I have an unrelated question. And I asked you this in the pre-interview, and you said, no, ask me in the interview. Ask me in the interview. So I'm going to ask you,
because I
where
don't remember what it was.
where did the name Sir Walter come from?
Oh, that's a safe question.
Okay.
Um, I didn't give myself that name. Some people think that I was being arrogant and call myself sir, like others do on social media. I didn't do
Mhm,
that. I actually rejected the name when it was given to me in the 90s. Somebody from my church just kept calling me Sir Walter, and I would
mhm,
laugh at it because it was cute. And I ignored it. And then I moved years later. I moved to South Dakota to help a ministry out, and
mhm,
while I was in church, the first lady was over the microphone, and then she said, "Walter, Minister Jones, Sir Walter, Sir Walter. I think that's your name." And I was like, "Wow!" It followed me. Um,
mm,
and then I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then the people in the church obviously start calling me Sir Walter. So I said, okay, whatever, still whatever. I wasn't really accepting it. And then I wanted to make some extra money. So I started to work at a high school and a grammar school
mhm,
there in that city called Rapid City, at the Catholic school system. And I remember walking in the room, and there was a board there, a blackboard, like the old blackboards with the white chalk. And I
mhm.
wrote, "Hello, students. My name is," and I put Sir Walter Jones, just to make them laugh and break the ice, because I was
Mhm,
the only black man in that whole school.
mhm.
Break the ice, and they said, "Oh my God, you were knighted by the Queen!" Oh, they were serious. They were serious, and I was like, "Oh gosh, I created a monster," and
Well,
it carried around the whole school to the principal was calling me Sir Walter. So I said, "You know what? That's my name from now
I have to tell the truth. I was one of those people that thought maybe you knighted yourself.
on."
I wasn't
Right.
sure. And
Well, I
then it
did go.
reminded me of the movie To Sir with Love.
Yeah, which one of my favorite top 5 movies, and,
Mhm,
we mentioned that over the years, and I did a concert called From Sir to Love
mhm,
with Love, and, then I went to, as you know, I went to London, England, about a month ago,
mhm.
and, um, some of the bunkers were calling me sir, and the people were like, "He was knighted?" Yeah, he was the queen knighted him before she died. No, no, he's not that kind of sir.
Well,
Yeah.
and then I think it's your nieces and nephews call you Uncle Sir.
Yes, Uncle.
I love that. That's cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So
so now we know where the sir came from. It
now you
wasn't
know,
being
now you
arrogant.
know it wasn't me doing it. The people, and it is more honorable when someone give you the name and you don't give yourself that name.
All right. Okay, now we know. Now
Now
let's
you.
get into this book because I have mine right here.
Uh-oh.
It has a
Let
whole
me
bunch of
see if I
dog
can
ears
find
now.
mine. Where's mine? Oh, here's mine right here. I wrote it, but I don't know what's in it.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can dig into it so we can refresh your memory.
Absolutely.
I want to read just a piece of the foreword that was written by Dr. Joyce Graham.
Yes.
I think something she said was very profound. She said, Walter has identified some of the key elements that are destroying the very fabric and foundation of our romantic relationships. He addresses the erosion of the sanctity of marriage, the dismantling of families after divorce, and the breakdown of communication among couples. The rudiments and values upon which relationships are built are disintegrating before our very eyes. However, within the pages of this book, Walter has prepared and delivered an affirming message that is highly effective in relaying and restoring those values. How much do you agree with that and why?
Well, I approved it when she sent me that write up. Um,
Mhm,
she's my I adopted her as my mother.
mhm,
As you can see, she has the credentials to say what she says, and she backs it up.
mhm,
Um, I agree with it. The eroding of the family values. I'm old school. I've seen
Mhm.
my mother and father fall in love, deeper in love with each other, year after year after year.
Mhm.
Um, and I think once we figure out what the problem is, then we're able to deal with it in a room together.
Mhm.
And I know you have many questions for me, and I probably will answer this question with some of the other questions that you may have for me,
Mhm.
because my book, I continue in the book to talk, to say that the book is not about what is right or what is wrong. It's
Mhm.
about what is.
Mhm. Okay.
What is. Men are surface,
Mhm.
and we don't talk as much as women, as you know. And
Okay.
that's not a jab towards women.
It
Again,
felt like a jab, but go
I
ahead.
know you felt that thing, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Now there's some men, women only in the comment section may say, I know some men who talk a whole bunch, but that's not normal.
Mhm.
Men don't talk. I'm talking in comparison.
Right. Right.
Men don't talk as much as women. God made them not to do a whole bunch of talking. They were made to do a whole bunch of showing.
Mhm.
Whether they're showing you or not, they're showing you. And I think the old adage of Maya Angelou stands true. When a man tells you or shows you that
Mhm.
who he is,
Mhm.
believe him. Not so much what he tells you,
Mhm.
because he'll say whatever he needs to say to get what he needs out of you. But the trueness of a man is what he does
Right.
more so than what he says. And so that's why I kept saying in the book, it is not about right or wrong. It is about what he is, meaning examine who he is, what he's doing, why he's doing it. That is the
Mhm.
is part.
Mhm.
And then you all can sit and figure out how to make it right, right the wrongs.
Okay. You said whether he's showing you or not, he's showing you.
Yes, he's always showing you.
That's a
And
quote. That's a good quote.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A non-answer is an answer.
True. And a non-decision is a decision.
Sure is.
Okay,
Sure
I
is.
might have to put that on a shirt or something.
Put it on the
I'm gonna
show.
give you credit for it though. I will put your name on there
Pick it up.
as the one who said it. Now, what inspired you to write the book? The book was released in 2019, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. So what was the inspiration behind the book? Like, was it a personal moment, a turning point? What happened?
It was by mistake.
Oh, okay.
I was shooting a Sir Walter Jones show,
Mhm.
and one morning I woke up and I didn't know what to talk about that day.
Oh.
And at that time, I had a podcast uh, on Urban Broadcast Media here in Chicago, in the
Mhm.
historic Bronzeville area. Bronzeville in Chicago would be like Black Wall Street in Tulsa.
Mhm.
So every day I would do a show live for 2 hours every day, and I didn't have nothing. And something came to me and said, "All right, this." It was relationship night because each night had a different topic.
Mhm.
Well, that night was relationship night. I think it was a Tuesday night. And right before, it was an hour before the show, and I didn't have anything. And then something said, talk about your experiences with women.
Hmm.
And the topic came to my head, the three women that men desire.
Mhm.
And I started taking notes. You're a writer, you're a content creator. You know how it is when you start writing, boy, you can't
Mhm.
stop.
Yeah.
And I'm all this stuff been poured down into me, and I was taking my experiences with women and my brother's experiences, what I've seen in my father and mother's experience, and what have you,
Mhm.
and my watching many shows on TV in the early days and watching movies. I took all of that and I came up with three women.
Mhm.
There's only three women that men desire. And then I started talking on the show with my co-host, and we're talking about these three women. I'm breaking them down. And right in the middle of the show, I said, oh, there's a fourth woman.
Ooh.
I said, there's a fourth woman. I just got downloaded. There's a fourth one. Now that show is still on the on Google.
Mhm.
It's there for you to hear. There's a fourth woman, and I think the fourth woman that I brought up, yeah, I did. Her name was Lilith. I didn't give
Mm.
her a name then. I didn't have names then.
Right. Mhm.
But Lilith turned out to be that fourth woman, and there she was. And so I ended the show, and I didn't think nothing about the show. I went on to do whatever, and I think it took me another year or two, maybe a couple of years, before I said, you know what, I may have something here, because I
Mhm.
revisited the topic, and I said, I think maybe I've always wanted to write a book, but I
Mhm.
always wanted to write an autobiography of myself. The problem with not writing it, with writing it, that is that my life was so boring. So I didn't want to just write something about myself, and no one buys the book because my life was so boring.
Mm.
But I realized that if I write it this way and talk about the issues and the vicissitudes that other people are dealing with, maybe they will write it. So I took my life, which this book is really, it's an autobiography, it is, and take the show that I did and just put it in the book.
Mhm.
That's okay. I'm gonna write the book, but if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in the book. So they're not gonna read it. so I figured I need to write it in a way that I know that someone could just read it in 1 day or 2 days.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I wrote it in an outline,
Mhm.
a quick read, so that it would. And then when I wrote it, I thought that the women would hate the book, and I didn't care. I wanted them to hate it, and
I can see why you would think that, because I was okay,
because
go ahead.
because men, we're very peculiar. Because
Mhm.
first of all, the title of the book, I've interviewed on radio stations and
Mhm.
cable stations, and
Mhm.
churches have adopted the book, and so and I just assumed the women were going to hate the book because one interviewer, while I was on a radio show, one woman called in and says, "What the bleep do he know about women?" And we laughed. Me and the host laughed.
Mhm.
And I said, "Ma'am," I mean, she went off. She went off, and I let her go off. And then I said, "Ma'am, can you read the book again? Read the cover of the book again." I don't have to read it. I said, "Please read it out loud." And
Mhm.
then she read it. It says, "Men's Chronicles: A
Yeah.
Woman's Guide to
Yeah.
Men." I said, "Lady, this book is not about women. It's about
Mhm.
men."
Right.
So I said, "So you're right. I don't know nothing about women." She said, "Oh my God."
So
I
so it's a book about men, but it's to help women better understand men?
Yep, by
Okay.
using women.
Okay. Okay.
The
Alright,
best
that
way
makes
to
sense.
understand the man is to bring the woman in the story,
Mhm.
because men do what they do in the world because of women,
Mhm.
not just because of themselves. They do things because there was a woman involved in his life. I mean, how often have you heard in church that the next to a great man is his woman?
Mhm.
I will hear that all my life. You
Mhm.
know, well, he's you're right. I mean, you name a great man, there's a woman there.
Right. So when I first started reading, the first time I read through the book for my research for tonight for the show, I just was thinking to myself, okay, what is going on with these titles of these women, these names of these women? So I started reading it, and we're gonna go through each what I call archetype. We're gonna go through each one. So girl A is the side chick. Girl
Yeah.
B is the mistress.
Mhm.
And before I read your book, I didn't know there was a difference between a side chick and a mistress. I thought they were the same thing, but your book very brilliantly explains the differences, because in the book you have a description for each girl.
Yeah.
And so the side chick's description is completely different than the
Yeah.
mistress. I did
Absolutely.
not know that.
Most
So
women, not most, a lot of women didn't know the difference.
yeah. So that was I was like, okay, I didn't okay, I'm learning something, even though
Mm.
I don't know if I like these names,
Yeah,
but I'm
no.
learning something. So then girl C is the soulmate,
Yes.
and girl D is the fatal attraction.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
You got it.
Okay. So the book is volume 1 of a 7-volume series, correct?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is just the first book.
That's just the
So you want to
first.
start with this one
Yeah, you
before you
wanna
move
start
on
with
to the
that.
rest. Yes.
Yes. That
Yeah.
is the, that is the um, the pre.
Mhm.
What is it when the movie the movie that comes out that shows you when he was young? N
Mhm. The preview. Mhm.
Yeah, not the preview.
Or prequel?
Yes, the
Mhm.
prequel. That's what this book is the
Okay.
prequel.
All right. So what is the core message of the book? Like just in couple words, what's the core message?
The book, leads you to the final chapter.
Mhm.
I wrote the book not for Christians only.
Mhm. Mhm.
I wrote the book and I was very specific not to put too much spiritual terminologies in most of the book,
Right.
because soon as someone who don't know God opens it up and they see all that spiritual stuff, they're gonna just close the book.
Mhm.
I didn't want that.
Mhm.
And the women that I've dealt with were, believers and non-believers.
Mhm.
And I wanted healthy relationships all over, with the
Mhm.
hopes that those in the world would, you know, transform.
Mhm.
um, so I wanted it to be a general book, but it leads you to the final chapter, which called the renewed mind.
Mhm.
The renewed mind opens you up to the love of God and 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 healthy relationships by allowing Holy Spirit to lead and guide you through these tumultuous times in your relationships.
Mhm.
So the book is a carrot. It's my evangelistic tool that I
Mhm.
decided to use
Mhm.
to lead people, you know, to a healthy relationship, which leads them to God as well.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, yeah, as I was reading through it, I thought, if I been wearing pearls, I probably would have clutched them
Yeah.
because some of the descriptions are
Language,
very descriptive.
absolutely.
Um,
If you had false teeth, they'd have fell out.
they would have fell right on out.
I don't know.
But I think it was important to write it that way because
Yes.
it gives it more relevance. And like you
Yes.
said, it's not just going to be other believers that are reading this book. So
No.
it needs to speak to whoever reads it.
Yes, I was gonna soften the book as I was writing it,
Mhm.
and Holy Spirit says, What's wrong with Song of Solomon?"
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
mean, that there's language in that book that, your fathers and mothers of the old days told you, they discourage you from reading that even
Mhm.
though it's in the Bible.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's some hard language even in the book of Revelation, you know?
Mhm.
There's a hard story in the Old Testament with a woman who was raped by a whole bunch of people and then cut in half 12 times,
Mhm.
by her own, husband after she died. I mean, it's some gory stuff in the scriptures. So if
Mhm.
I can read the scriptures and look at all that gory stuff, I can write a book to show people the realities. People, Christians tend to live under they try to live in a box and in a bubble.
Mhm.
But when we were young, we went outside with no shoes on, and we drank from the water holes out in the
Mhm.
backyard, and we
Yep.
stepped on rusted nails, and we played in abandoned cars. I mean, all these things built up our immune system.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I wanted the book to show, the realities of what's going on. I often bring a Mother Bobo and Mother Mayhem on my show. These are the mothers of the church who often talk about purity and all these wonderful clean things, and their daughters are at home, doing all kind of stuff, and they act like they don't see it, they don't know it, they just want to be in church, but
Mhm.
the realities of life happens Monday through Saturday.
Right. Well, let's break down each girl. I want to go in a little bit on each girl, starting with the side chick. And the reason why the side chick one kind of, yeah, is because I know right now there are women watching who have already found out their husband has a woman on the side, or they're getting ready to find out their husband has a woman on the side, or they have found out and they've made the decision to either leave the marriage or stay and try to fix it. And so I think it's important for us as women to understand the thought process of a man when he chooses to step outside of his marriage and have a relationship outside of his marriage. And in the book, you describe what draws him to each woman. So you describe what draws him to the side chick. You describe what draws him to the mistress, what draws him to the soulmate, what draws him to the fatal attraction. So let's start with the side chick. What is the man? What's he going through? What's he thinking? What is drawing him or making him in his mind be able to justify having a woman outside of his marriage? And for the side chick, what in her mind is helping her justify that this relationship is what she needs to be involved in?
Oh, what she wants to be involved in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are two type of men that a woman, a married woman may have.
Mm-hmm.
One is a very lustful man. He was lustful when you found him,
Mm-hmm.
and he needs to sow his wild oats. Um, he may marry you, but he's not healed. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
this pain from, you know, his life coming up and just doing whatever he wanted to do with women because the
Mm-hmm.
women allowed it, or the women chased him. And there's a misconception of chasing. Men don't really have to chase women.
Mm-hmm.
And women often tell us, how we're players, pimps, and dogs, and all these things. But y'all often say it takes two to tango, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men in
True.
church don't need to chase the women. The women have approach us mostly. We don't really have to do that. They approach us. They put phone numbers in their pockets and all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a man who's very lustful because he once the body is open and it's open.
Mm-hmm.
So then he finds someone he falls in love with. But falling in love with someone and marrying them doesn't stop. Doesn't mean that the lust stops. So
Mm-hmm.
who pleases him? The side chick gives him whatever he needs sexually.
Mm-hmm.
He might be getting the sex at home, but more than likely he's not getting enough. He's not getting enough. He's hungry to please his flesh.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not enough. So he gets it from the side chick. And it might just be two women. It might just be his wife and his side chick. There
Mm-hmm.
are many men out there who satisfied with those two. He wishes though that he had the both of them in one woman.
Hmm.
That's the
So
question. Yes,
so he wishes he had the both of them in one woman. So there's something that the side chick does that the wife isn't doing and vice versa.
absolutely. She
Is that what
doesn't
you're
do.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And here's the thing: the side chick, in many cases, is not as attractive as his wife,
Mm-hmm.
because this is a sex thing. This
Mm,
is not that he's attracted to her character. The
mm-hmm.
side chick, he's attracted to her body and what she does to him sexually, and she may not have the greatest body.
Mm-hmm.
It's she makes him feel physically.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Okay.
chick feels that physical sexual void that he may have at home. The other three women feels the other emotional voice he have. But the
Mm-hmm.
side chick, her job is she is a bed wench.
Mm. I saw
And
that in there.
yeah, and she goes
Oh,
wherever he goes. He goes out of town, and unfortunately, Martin Luther King had a bed wench,
wow.
and wherever he went, she traveled.
How we know that?
I went to the museum, and the the what you call the men and the women who walk you around and tell you about what. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we knew this. We kind of knew this. Um, but it's like, okay, yeah, that could be hearsay. The FBI was trying to shut him down and all these things. But men like me, I knew that. I knew it. Because of what I've experienced and what I've seen coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And preachers, I knew it. And then
Who?
so he confirmed it. He was
Mm,
like, "You all are looking in this bedroom here. That's the room where he left the room and got shot on that balcony." He said, "But sir, turn to your right." He said, "That room right there, that's where he and so and so, that's where they would go." And I said,
So, so this book is about Christian and non-Christian men. We
"Yeah,
talked
it
about
is."
both.
And keep remembering in your mind that I
Mhm.
keep saying, this is not about what's right or wrong.
Okay. Okay.
It's about what
What
is.
is? Okay.
Men who go to church
Mhm.
struggle like a man who's on crack struggle.
Mhm. Mhm.
They struggle in
Okay.
their flesh, and there's no good thing in it. I
Mhm.
mean, and we see the stories in scriptures. I mean, come on, King David
Mhm.
was a hoe.
Oh, Lord. I don't think anybody ever said that word on the Girl Talk Sunday podcast. So if I ever create a Hall of Fame, Sir Walter Jones will be in it.
I mean,
Thank you very
you
much.
knew what you was getting yourself into when you invited me, right? That
Oh,
man was a
Lord.
hoe. He was a hoe. And but here's the thing about him.
Mhm.
Even as he was getting ready to die in his old age, they put a woman in his bed.
What?
Her name was Abishag, or Abigail, Abishag, I think it is, yeah. And the name
So
of uh-huh.
so sometimes that lust thing is just not something that you ever can get control of?
Sometimes you use the word
Sometimes?
sometimes, and I'm glad you said that because there's
Yeah.
some men who stopped. But here's the
Mhm.
problem with it.
Mhm.
Many of the men who stop, they wait
Mhm.
till they get up in age, and then they
Mm. Mhm.
Noel Jones was dating his girlfriend for many years.
Mhm.
Now he's old,
Mhm.
and out of his own mouth, he got on his knees and asked for her marriage, her hand in marriage. And he said, "I'm getting old and I can't move like I used to," and all these things. And the women who saw this were offended because
Mm.
you led her on all these years through your youth,
Mhm.
did whatever you wanted to do. I'm not saying that he was sleeping around. I have no idea, but you robbed her of your youth,
Mhm.
and you waited till
And
you got,
her own.
yeah, till you got
Mm.
old so that she could take care of you.
Mhm.
And men who do that are the ones who stop messing with the side chick and these other women, and then they settle. So
Mm.
they didn't rob their wives so many years of happiness and bliss and peace. So
But in the Noel Jones situation, did he drag her? Did she, I mean, did she allow herself to be dragged? Is the question. I mean,
yeah, remember I said it takes
really
two.
drag her. She went along for the ride.
I am a critical thinker, and I
Mhm.
never put all of the pain or the blame on men.
Right.
That's why I said it takes two to
Mhm.
tango. That's why I said
Yeah.
men don't have to chase women. So you know that I'm critical in my thinking. Women
Mhm.
are just as much will be judged in heaven
Mhm.
as men will.
Mhm.
With that being said, man have a position to hold in
Right.
creation, especially if he is a husband. His
Mhm.
responsibility is to make sure that house is right.
Mhm.
So he has a greater role. And scripture will back me up by saying that he'll get the biggest punishment than she will.
Hmm.
Because Jude says, not Jude, James said it would be not good that many of you become teachers. He said,
Mhm.
because those teachers would be held to a stricter judgment.
Mhm.
Why didn't he say that about any other gift?
Hmm.
Because there's a like a pecking order of responsibility. You know better. So you get
Mhm.
the biggest punishment,
Right.
if
Right.
that makes sense. So a
It
man,
does.
yeah,
So the side chick speaks to the lust in a man, but the
that's all.
mistress
Yeah, the mistress speaks to his heart
speaks to his heart. Okay, talk a little bit more about that.
about the
The mistress.
comparison or to the mistress.
Mhm. The mistress.
The mistress, he will never leave his wife for the side chick.
Mhm.
He leaves his wife for the mistress.
Mm.
He marries the mistress. He don't marry the side chick. because sex is temporary for him. He
Oh,
gets his rocks off. He rolls over and he's out of here. He gone.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
With the side chick though, she got his heart. That's why
mm-hmm,
he marries her. Uh,
mm-hmm,
he's attracted to her,
mm-hmm,
and he wants to start a new life with her. He may have a secret family on the other side of town with his mistress,
mm,
and he takes her to the high society places.
mm-hmm,
He doesn't take his side chick out to decent places. He don't take her to steak houses and on exotic trips. No,
mm-hmm,
he hides her.
mm-hmm,
When it comes to sex, they have it either in a hotel or at her place or somewhere secluded, and that's you don't ever see them in public unless
mm,
they made a mistake. Now this is
mm-hmm.
this is typical. I know there's some other situations out of it because when you read the book, I talk about how I'm talking about the typical situation.
Right, right.
The side chick, the mistress, you may see them in Cabo or Miami.
Mm-hmm,
You may see them somewhere at a five-star restaurant. You just
mm-hmm,
may see them. And he brags to his boys about the mistress. She's
hmm.
drop dead gorgeous in his mind. And here's the thing, she may not be giving him the sex that he wants. Be-
Okay.
Because the way to a man's heart is not through his penile.
Another word in the Hall of Fame. Okay, go ahead.
I tried to fix it up by saying penile.
Go ahead.
Okay. That's not a way to a man's heart. That's the way to his flesh. Way to a man's heart is through his chest. And the mistress hits him right here in his chest. That's where his
Mm,
heart is.
mm-hmm,
And she does things that his wife, he feels,
mm-hmm,
don't do anymore. So he has moved away. It's in my second book,
mm-hmm,
when I bring out Lola, I talk about um Toy Story and I
mm-hmm.
talk about Woody.
Yeah. Yeah. The Toy Story effect.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
And Woody and Buzz Lightyear,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the young man was playing with Woody for years. That was his boy.
Mm-hmm.
Commercial came on the TV about Buzz Lightyear. I mean, he does things that Woody doesn't do. And when Buzz Lightyear came to the
Mm-hmm.
house,
Mm-hmm.
he flies, he talks, and he is to the moon. He's infinity and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
When he came to the house, that young man took Woody, threw him on the floor, and Woody fell under the bed. And he played with Buzz Lightyear. That's the mistress.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of married women feel. They feel like Woody.
Yes,
They feel like their husbands have thrown them under the bed, and
absolutely.
now he over there with Buzz.
With Buzz,
Yeah.
but what men don't look in the future, don't
Mhm.
realize Buzz batteries eventually go dead,
Mhm.
and s- um, he's got to buy expensive batteries, not the cheap batteries we used to have back in the day with them toys.
Mhm.
You put it in your toy and it lasts 2 hours and it's gone.
Mhm.
No, he's got to keep buying Duracells
Yeah.
because the mistress, uh, her, she's higher maintenance than his wife,
Mhm.
so it can
And
be.
you said that he sometimes men will leave their wives for the mistress.
Yes, they will.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
he'll get bank loans. He'll sell his he'll hawk his ring. He'll do whatever he can to
Mhm.
continue to feed that beast in the mistress.
Another
Um,
thing that I found really interesting about the mistress, let me see if I can find it. Um, I think it was something about she's not always kind to him.
no, she's
Yeah.
not. Mm-mm. And I've used examples. I believe I use examples in the book. And in the book, I bring up TV shows and some movies,
Mhm.
and how they would use explain these characters and this woman and how she would mistreat him, but he
Mhm,
always came back. Though that was my experience.
mhm,
Um, I had a mistress. Now let me explain this. I'm calling them these titles
mhm,
not always to say that a married man
mhm.
have a mistress, but a
Right.
single man can have a mistress too. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay. Say more about that.
Well, a single man can see her as a mistress. Her
Mhm.
character is a mistress.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right. So her
Okay.
her title mistress simply means he's with someone
Mhm.
that typically he's married with, but he's with her. That's the typical explanation of a mistress.
Mhm.
But the mistress also have a character. So do all four of these women.
Right.
So a single man could be with a mistress-esque type woman.
Type of woman. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay.
So her character is the same. What's in the name? What Shakespeare said. Well, her character is still the same. She doesn't treat him right,
Mhm.
and she turns him upside down and shakes him for all that he's worth.
Right.
You
Right. And
understand?
don't we see that all the time in Hollywood? We see
Yeah,
it all the time.
all the time, and those are the mistresses. And these men
Yeah.
left their wives for that kind of woman, and
Mhm.
it's costly. It's not just physically. It's not just financially costly. It's mentally costly for him till he
Mhm.
can't take it anymore. And some men, they die.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about girl C, the soulmate. She's the one that I related to the most.
I
And what I
figured.
really found interesting, Walter, is that she started out one way, but then she morphed into something else
Yes.
towards the end. You want to talk about that?
My book has an order to it. It
Mm-hmm.
has an order of morphing from the good to the bad to the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
If you read all four women, they start off good,
Mm-hmm.
all
Yeah.
four, and then it morphs down to the negative, to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
This is a story about um, riches to rags
Mm-hmm.
to riches.
Mm-hmm.
The last riches is the last chapter of Renewed Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe is her name.
Right.
And if you look at my opening on the Phoebe chapter, 50, page 54,
Mm-hmm.
notice how I give an introduction to these women. That's very vital.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Um, okay, the soulmate. And I said the year was 1981.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Where a man meets the woman,
Mm-hmm.
he has come, he in his mind, he has already labeled these women. Soon as she walk in the room or when he walks in the room, he labels them right away.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
Mm-hmm.
it sticks or not, it doesn't matter. Again, this is about what's not about what's right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He labels her. That's Phoebe. He may even say, I'm gonna marry her.
Mm-hmm.
He won't say that to the side chick. He'll never say that when he first sees her, he sees what she looks like, and he like, I'm gonna do her. Not I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna marry her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do her, and I'm gonna do her as long as I can. With my mindset is this is temporary. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If he walks in the room and said, I'm gonna marry her, he sees something right away. Now he sees her outward appearance. She looked like someone that he would marry.
Mm-hmm.
When
Okay.
he walks up to her and she starts talking, that is where things could change right away. As soon as she,
Describe that look. Describe that look. What she look like?
well, it depends on the man. There is no one size fit all.
Okay.
You
In
know,
general.
she could, no,
No?
there is no in general. There,
Okay.
a man, notice, have you ever seen two people together and you say, how in the world
Mm-hmm.
is he with
Yeah.
her?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no general.
Mm-hmm.
Um, y- Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Individually, will say, y'all don't belong together. But in
Mm-hmm.
his mind, that's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
she could look skanky to you,
Mm-hmm.
but to him, she gonna have my children. That's why I said there's no one size fit on. So you can't look at ask a man, one man. So what does that look like, Phoebe? He will mention. He may see. Let's look at Three's Company.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You had the brunette and the blonde.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chrissy was what, the dark
The
hair one,
blonde. Mm-mm, the blonde.
the blonde. Chrissy, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Janet,
Mm-hmm. Was the brunette. Mm-hmm.
the typical man sees Janet as Phoebe,
AKA
Gilligan's Island,
the soulmate.
soulmate.
Okay.
Absolutely. The
Okay.
typical man on Gilligan's Island
Mm-hmm.
sees uh,
Ginger.
Mary Ann,
Oh, Marianne. Marianne. Mm-hmm.
Mary Ann as Phoebe,
Mm-hmm.
soulmate, not
Mm-hmm.
Ginger.
Right.
That's sex appeal. So it can be difficult for a woman because she tries to change all her outward appearances
Mm-hmm.
to get the man, but really what the man is, he that it does work as his initial attraction, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not anything that keeps him.
Mm-hmm. So
No,
you're not saying that that the soulmate can't have sex appeal.
right. She
You're
can't.
talking about how that the woman carries that sex
There
appeal.
you go.
Okay.
How does she
Okay. I'm
carry it?
with you.
Because,
I'm with you.
yeah,
And
you
I
with me?
want
All
you
right.
to know that Skank
Yes.
is going in the Hall of Fame too. But go ahead. Go on.
I've never been on a show like this either.
Oh, this is
That's
too
pretty
much.
good.
Too much. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
So, for those who might be confused in the comment section, all right,
Mhm.
this is a critical thinking book. It really is. And you have to read it a
Yeah.
couple times to really see what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's why I had to stop. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
songwriter. All right.
Yeah.
So I made this as a musical appeal as well because I called it the interlude in the middle. It's a
Yes, I
pause.
saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a pause.
Right.
And let's take a breather after the first two women. Let's take a breather and let's like really examine this. And then what I did what's called a callback.
Mm-hmm.
Again, ladies, read the cover of the book. I would say that in the book. Read the cover. It's
Mm-hmm.
the Men's Chronicles, a woman's guide to men.
Right.
And the very first thing that you all are going to try to do is find yourself among these four women. I know
That's
you
what
did.
I did.
I know you did.
Exactly what
That
I
is
did.
I know, but that is the biggest mistake that all
Mm-hmm.
women make. They're looking
Yeah.
for themselves in there. You can't find yourself. He finds yourself.
Okay. 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 Okay.
You get it?
All right.
So
Yes.
that's why you said, I saw Phoebe in myself. Well, you probably did. He didn't.
Right.
Get it?
Right. Yeah.
It's a woman's guide to men.
Right.
So
You
when
know
you
what?
walk
You're gonna
in,
have to keep saying that.
I know I do. That's why I kept
You
saying
gotta
it in the
keep
book.
telling us that. Yeah.
Absolutely, because women always get this part wrong. Oh, I believe that I was girl D. And I'm like, yeah, well, you might think you were, but your relationship
Mm.
didn't work because he didn't see it was girl D.
Child, you
He
was
saw you
girl
as
A
girl
to
A.
him. Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Yeah.
you keep self-examining yourself in the book. That is not the intent, but I knew that that's what y'all was going to do, and that's why I wrote the interlude, knowing that you all were doing that. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So he sees you when he walks in the room. You're Phoebe. You're his
Mm-hmm.
wife when he walks in. But as
Mm-hmm.
soon as you open your, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. But
Mm-hmm.
but it can matter what you're wearing because some men want to see his mother and how you dress outwardly. He wants to see
Wait,
his
wait,
mother.
wait, wait, wait. Wait. Some men want to see their mother
He
in.
wants to, yes, he wants to marry his mother. Absolutely.
He want to marry his mama.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Say more about that. What you talking about? He want. Go ahead.
Yeah, he wants to marry his mother. And again, you
What?
have to see through the mind of a man, which is very difficult for some women. Very
Okay.
difficult.
Okay.
And she may see something. She may hear a man say that and say
Mhm.
that is inappropriate. It's freaky. It's nasty. No, it's not. Not in his mind. Because on my show, I talked about how my father raised his daughter to be his wife. Now that sounds creepy, don't it?
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you explain.
You better let me explain it.
Okay.
My father fell in love with my mother when they were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
My mother's father wasn't really there for her.
Mm-hmm.
So there are things that characters that she exuded, exemplified, or whatever the word is, that
Mm.
showed that she was fatherless. But
Okay.
my father fathered her. And he was doing things for her that her father should have been doing. And he was doing things for her. And my father became my mother's not just husband, but
Mm-hmm.
became a father figure. How do I know? Because men are very analytical. And my brothers, we all came to that conclusion. The
Mm-hmm.
way the way we saw them from the 60s on up,
Mm-hmm.
my father basically fathered her. I mean, he did things for her and as if she was still a child,
Mm-hmm.
um, showing her how to cook. He took her to get her first ear piercing. He showed her how to drive and all
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. And this is why sometimes a woman will call her man daddy.
Hmm. So I guess the reason why it seems weird or strange is because there are some men that would use that in a toxic way. And so that's the first thing that came to my mind is the toxic way a man could father his wife. But there's a way to do it that is nurturing
And
as
that's what my
well. And you
father did.
saw what your dad did it that way.
He nurtured my mother.
Okay.
He did
Mhm.
things that only a father could do.
Mhm.
So she saw him as a father figure as much as she did husband. And I
Mhm.
think this was a relationship between Sarah and Abraham. She
Mm.
called him Lord, did she not?
Yes, she did. Mhm.
So we see those kind of relationships even in what Peter said about husbands love your wife as Christ loved the church, that he gave his life for it. All right.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that he washed her. The
Mhm.
husband washes his wife, okay, in the
Mhm.
word. That's
Mhm.
a father like character
Right.
that women can't really see and they can't see it that way because again, they were not raised the way I was. I was privileged to be raised this way to understand how this works now. So when
Mhm.
my brothers start getting when they become my brothers on their second marriage,
Mhm.
which things happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I saw in their second marriages how they became fathers to their wives as well.
And you talk a lot about how your dad raised you and your brothers to really reverence your mother.
Yep.
And
Sure.
in the book, you talk about how about when you guys would come home from somewhere, you would all be in the car. So you have, I think, six brothers and two sisters. Yes.
Yeah, one
Okay.
is passed. Yes.
One brother passed away. Okay. So when
Mhm.
you were little, though, when you were younger, you guys would all be in the car. You would get to the house, but you wouldn't just all jump out of the car and go in the house.
No.
Talk about what would happen when you guys would get to the house.
We would get to the house and we would have to go inside and look around to make sure
Mhm.
that no one was hiding in there.
Mhm.
Because we lived on the west side. It was kind of dangerous coming up in the 70s and
Mhm. Well, it's like
early 80s.
Chicago, right?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All of Chicago is not dangerous. That's
Mhm.
hype.
Mhm.
But where we were, we've had a couple break-ins, and so my father was very protective of my mother, and he didn't want her to just go inside the house and
Mhm.
be unprotected. So he had all these boys. We
Mhm.
went in and we went from room to room to room to room. And went in the basement. We cased the whole house. My
Mhm.
mother stayed in the car with either my brother or my father,
Mhm.
and we would go through the house, and then we would say, "Coast is clear," and he he wouldn't even let us open the door. He would come and open the door for my mother. He like, "I
Mm.
got this one. This is my job." And he would help my mother up, help her up the steps, help her
Mhm.
into the house. take her coat off, and she was safe.
Yeah.
And I saw this all my life for the 17 years I lived there, and he did
And he
that
was
until
so, I didn't mean to cut you off, but your dad was so serious about this. He would have you guys remove her shoes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we had to remove our shoes and,
Mhm.
do whatever we needed to do. He was showing us how to be
Mhm.
chivalrous, not just towards my mother, but towards all women.
Mhm.
And that's why the Jones boys had problems with women because we always were showing chivalry, and the girls didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know they didn't know how to handle it because they would often say, "Men don't do that. Men don't do that for us, or boys
Mhm.
don't do that because we were young."
Mhm.
That's weird. Y'all I have old souls. And we were like, "Well, that's all we saw. That's all, that's all we
I
know."
wanna read I wanna read the profile of the soulmate.
Sure.
I wanna read what it says. It says, "Referred to as the soulmate, this is the woman that he cannot live without.
Mhm.
He may lovingly call her wifey because he knows his life isn't the same without her. This is the woman that he would be willing to give up everything for because she is his difference maker."
Yeah.
So it starts out real sweet, weird, romantic. He honors her, he adores her. It's a tangible kind of love. He makes sure that she knows how loved she is. But then something happens
Yeah.
and things begin to change. Talk about that change because I think a lot of marriages go through that change. So
Yeah,
talk
they
about.
do. They do.
Mhm.
The thing that happened is him, not so much her.
Mhm.
Not so much her, but sometimes it is her because what sometimes happens is a woman lets herself go.
Mhm. Okay.
Outward appearance, just she got him now, so she don't have to work as hard.
Mhm.
And she just let herself go, and then he loses interest. That's why they said the first, I don't know what, 7 years is vital. If
Mhm.
you can get through 7 years, you can get to the 20th year.
Mhm.
And so he if there is no interruptions, see, when she lets herself go and she stops giving him what he feels that she
Mhm.
stopped. That because he says she stopped doesn't really mean that she did stop, right?
Right.
But sometimes she does.
Mhm.
And if another woman comes across his face or his space more so,
Mhm.
and that is the Buzz Lightyear. So what
Mm.
happens is she pulls him away
Mhm.
from the sanctity of his marriage and his home,
Mhm.
albeit could be temporary. But she pulls him away, and then she notices the pull away. The wife, she sees it.
Mhm.
She may not always say it, but she sees it. That's when it started going down, down, down.
Mhm.
He still, she still go through the motions of being the wife. She
Mhm.
still cooks for him. She cleans for him. She might be still having his babies. She's giving
Mhm.
him sex.
Mhm.
But he's doing it because it becomes a chore. It becomes work and not something that he desires as one. They
Mhm.
become one when they're married, and then they turn into two people,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is something that is, Scripture says, "No more twain, but you become one." But in their
Mhm.
mindset, they
Yeah. There's the split that happens.
yep, and that's the sound I heard after my divorce.
Yeah.
I've literally heard that sound. It was a ripping sound. We became two
Mhm.
people. It's a horrible feeling.
So, is there a way to head that off at the pass? Does that split always result in divorce, or can you fix it? And
Yeah,
if so, what's the first step?
well, the first step is to recognize it as you see the dip. The
Okay.
problem is you recognize it when you're almost at the bottom.
Mhm. Okay.
And then men who are full of pride don't go to counseling because
Ah,
they feel that
okay.
they can fix it.
Mhm.
There's no problem. And the woman can have she plays a negative part in this as well because she won't talk about it. A lot
Mhm.
of it because they're trying to hold on to the marriage. And so
Mhm.
they think that because I'm giving him sex, he's
Mm.
happy.
Yeah.
Well, he's
That's
getting it other
good.
places. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's getting it other places,
Mhm.
you know? And depending on how much testosterone is pumped in him, he can get it every day, twice a day somewhere else. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So, that's sex it's something that women use as a tool and as a weapon, but it doesn't work on his heart. It may work on his psyche, but it doesn't work on his heart. All right. So as a man thinks in his heart,
Right. So is he.
so yeah,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that whole thing with trying to, when a man comes home and she's whistling and she's cooking,
Mhm.
he thinks everything is okay in the house. She plays that
Mhm.
role.
Mhm.
When she whistles, oh, I'm good. And she could be tormented in her mind. She
Yeah.
plays
Yeah.
this game with herself.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
if she knows
Yeah,
that he's got some
yeah,
women on the side. Yeah.
absolutely. She
Yeah.
plays that game. And she
Mhm.
plays it for two reasons. One, she's trying to hold on to her marriage. She wants to hold on to it, even if she thinks he's cheating. Even if
Mhm.
she knows he's cheating, she's going to
Mhm.
hold on because there's some security there that she needs.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one type of woman. Another
Mhm.
type of woman is a woman who's working her way out.
Right.
That's what Phoebe is doing in this book.
Mhm.
She's working her way. She keeps cooking, cleaning, giving him sex, doing his
Mhm.
chores, taking his clothes to the cleaners, going to church with him. They may even take a vacation here and there. She knows what he's doing, but
Mhm.
she is preparing for individualism, uh,
Yeah.
for freedom, and she's
Mhm.
she's got a bank account on the other side of town. She may be making some money somewhere else somehow. And today
Mhm.
you can do that. Now, back in the day, you couldn't do that.
Right.
Today you
Mhm.
can do it from home,
Mhm.
changing
Mhm.
her name, and she's changing her ID, all kind of stuff. She's doing it slowly, but she's making sure that her house is comfortable, that he don't know what's going on. And then
Right.
one day, it may take weeks, months, it might even take a couple of years.
Mhm.
She's gonna come home to an empty house.
Hmm.
So there's two type of women: the
Right.
ones who trying to hold on to it and keep it, and the other one
Right.
who says, "I gotta act like, I gotta make face."
Mhm.
And I call that the Bill Clinton effect.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, the Bill Clinton effect. You know good and well when that stuff was happening with Monica Lewinsky and him, they were not. He and Hillary was not sleeping in the same bed in the White
Well,
House.
he talked about that in his book.
Yeah,
He
they
was
were
on the
not.
couch for years.
I know they were, but
Mhm.
but they had to stay together. Can you
Yeah.
tell me why?
They're a brand.
They are a brand. There
Mhm.
you go.
Mhm.
Look how people were talking about Barack Obama and Michelle. They were talking about
Yeah.
they were separated too.
Mhm.
She finally fixed it. But
Mhm.
here's the problem I have with Michelle.
Oh,
She
all right.
waited.
All right. All right.
No, I know, I
Red
know,
light.
I know.
Go.
The Sir Walter Jones show came in. My bad.
This is the Girl Talk Sunday podcast. We love us some Michelle Obama, but I'm gonna let you make your point. Go
I got to
ahead.
make my point.
Okay.
She didn't cover him.
I heard you say that on another show, and I disagree. But go ahead.
I, I, I almost don't care, but I care now because I'm on your show. I don't want you to hit the button.
What do
She
you
didn't cover him.
mean? What do you mean?
All this talk about them being separated. She waited and
Mm-hmm.
waited and waited, never addressed it.
Mm-hmm.
She waited. And while he's out there walking around naked, she didn't cover him. Number
Mm.
two, this is from a man's point of view.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm gonna give
Number
you mine, but go ahead. You're my guest.
number two,
Okay.
she didn't go to those very important events.
Mm-hmm.
Those presidents dying, all that stuff, and Trump showing up with his wife. Melania don't go with him everywhere. She wasn't going everywhere, but she was showing up to those events, and Michelle wasn't, and Obama was out there naked again. She didn't
Mm-hmm.
cover him.
Mm.
I'm telling you what all men in my circle was saying the same thing. They felt betrayed by
Right.
Michelle.
Right. Okay.
Because a woman should be by as strong of a man as Barack Obama. I don't care if they were even having problems. She should have covered him.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't. That's the only problem I had with the Michelle Obama thing. All right,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, attack me.
No, I'm not gonna attack you, but I do disagree vehemently. I disagree
Oh, big
because
word, big word.
uh I saw the interview that she did about this very conversation, this very situation,
Which one?
and
Which situation?
about her not going to the
Okay.
funerals
Mhm.
and letting speculation run wild about their marriage. And the way I see it, the two of them knew what was going on with them. And she didn't feel obligated to bring us into the group chat. And I don't think she was obligated to bring us into the group chat at all, because once you start doing that, you have to keep doing it. So you let speculation run wild and let people think whatever it is that they want to think, because they are not in your marriage. And when you start explaining what is happening in your marriage, that's how you bring people into your marriage. And we're talking about strangers. We're not talking about just people. We're talking about strangers. So she did what she felt was right by just letting whatever was going to happen, because either way, whether she would have came out and tried to explain something or did what she did, which is just let people think what they want to think, people were going to have something to say anyway. So you can't cater to that, especially when you're as high profile as they are. You just cannot. You can't. I don't believe that you can. I think that people need to take a page out of Jay-Z and Beyonce's book when it comes to that sort of thing, and just don't comment. Now, when Michelle was ready to address it, she did. But I think she did it the right way. Now, as far as the funerals, those very important funerals were for men who, when Barack and Michelle were in the White House, did not come to Michelle's defense when people were calling her a gorilla and a monkey and a man. And people still do that. She had to endure all of that because Barack was president and she was first lady. So she had to stay silent on a lot of things. People were saying some horrible things about her. And I believe that once she left that White House, she decided these people and their words and their rhetoric and their toxic thoughts about me are not going to run my life ever again. So I'm not going to these funerals. Barack is a big boy. He can go by himself. And I think that's something that they came to an agreement on. And I think he respected her for that. And that's why she didn't go. Michelle is living her life on her own terms now. And I, as a woman, as a Black woman, am very proud of her because she went through it. For 8 years, she went through it. And the people that should have spoke out for her did not. So now she done took her power back, all the way back. And she came out and she said she and Barack are just fine. He's the love of her life. He's her soulmate. He's the man that she will spend the rest of her life with. But I don't think she owed us an explanation.
She did.
I disagree.
Okay. Can I explain?
Mm-hmm.
This is why my picture is over here and your picture is over there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. This is the way a woman talk.
Yes.
This is the way a man talk.
Mm-hmm.
We analyze things different than you do.
Yes, you do.
This is why we have that's why Tyler Perry will always be wealthy. Does that make sense?
No. What are you talking about?
Tyler Perry is always writing about relationships. He can't write about nothing else but relationships. The division between a man and a woman, a Black man and a Black woman, how we see things totally opposite. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama went into the public arena.
Mm-hmm.
They became public. And once you become public, you owe us.
Nope.
Don't go public.
Not the whole life. Not the whole life.
Why don't you gonna let me explain?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See that? There you go.
Go ahead.
When you go public, you owe the public. I often make the analogy of people who go on Facebook and say, I'm in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You got pictures popping up every day for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, no more pictures of him. He gone. And that we in a relationship
all the time, but go, yeah.
That we in a relationship, that's gone. It might even say it's complicated. You owe us because you brought us in your relationship. It's called Facebook, and we got friends. We're your friends. You owe us. When you go into public politics and what have you, you owe the public something, especially if we're paying your paycheck, because Barack Obama is still being paid by Sir Walter Jones and Sandi BestLife Jones. You understand what I'm saying? He is still considered the president of the United States. Former. but they still call him President Barack Obama. She did not cover him. I don't care what they went through. When you go into public arena, you have to still show dignity and cover your family. And I don't believe she covered him or those children. So it doesn't matter what they said about her, and I don't care who was at that funeral that went against her and didn't protect her. Two wrongs don't make it right, because she said out of her own mouth, when they go low, we go high.
She did.
She did, and she went low by not covering her husband.
Nope, she went high.
Let's move on.
Nope, I'm just gonna say this last thing. He is still called President Obama, but she is former First Lady Michelle Obama. She is a private citizen now. She was not obligated to address anything, and I'm glad she did. Now let's move on.
All right.
All right, we're on Girl D.
It's your party. I can cry if I want to.
This is the last girl in the book, Girl D. She is the fatal attraction. I want to read her profile. It says she truly is a fatal attraction. This is the woman that may be beautiful like the mistress, but his enjoyment is connected to the sexual domination he experiences with her. Although she may be mentally unstable, for him, the risk is well worth the reward. Okay, help me, Lord. This is my first R-rated show. Help me understand why the risk is worth the reward, Sir Walter Jones.
The risk is worth the sexual reward. Lilith is her name. She drives him wild. And I gave examples of Lilith through.
You did that I cannot read on the air. But
did you agree? Did you agree to
yes,
characters?
Yes.
Yeah, I know you did. She's a bad member. Shut your mouth. she flips him and dips him and turns him. She's a part of the Mile High Club. When y'all walking through the alley, she will take you in the alley and do. She is a voyeur. She's crazy, and men are attracted to that because he's fleshly. You understand? But what you have to also see is that, as strange as this may sound, Lilith and Bella, the side chick and the fatal attraction, the mistress and the fatal attraction are alike.
Okay.
And the side chick and the
soulmate,
his wife, are alike. They're alike. So although there's 4 women, there's 2 women. If you look at the descending order of the fatal attraction, it's almost the same descending order as the mistress. She drives him wild. The fatal attraction drives him wild. She's attracted to it. That's why I gave the movie Fatal Attraction and Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Those are the fatal attraction women. And he was on the couch kissing her. Martin Lawrence was kissing her and what have you. And she specifically told him not to tell her that he loves her.
And he did it anyway.
And yep. Why did he say, I love you? Because he wanted sex. The next day, she went buying him all kind of stuff and shower him with all this expensive stuff, because she believed him. And what happened? Before you know it, she's keying his car. She's blowing up his house, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Boiling rabbits, the fatal attraction woman. All right. But what some men still say, yeah, she took me through all this stuff, but man, her stuff was so good. That's the problem with the flesh. Ain't nothing good in it. And it causes world wars. I mean, the movie Troy and the Trojan horse and what have you, that was started over sex between a man and a woman. And so a lot of these things happen because there was a fatal attraction involved. That's her.
So he's attracted to the impulsivity,
absolutely,
of her, you just never know what you're going to get.
That's it. It's a box of chocolates. Yeah,
Lord.
and she's gonna take him to
Mm-hmm.
places that his wife could have started doing that when they first were together, but typically she doesn't do that because he would have put her in this bracket already. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't really want that in his wife. My personal story is when I was married, before I was married, I was watching pornography and I had it on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
When I got married, I stopped watching it. I didn't care for it anymore, but the files were still on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
When I got married, my laptop was sitting in the living room and it was open and she was on there searching for something and the porn popped up.
Hmm.
Um, and so it took a couple days for her to tell me. So you still watch porn? I'm like, no, I don't watch porn. Why would you think that? She said, well, it was on your laptop. I'm like, well, I used to watch it. I guess I forgot that stuff was on the laptop. I'll get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next time we were having sex, she was playing out the scenes
Mm-hmm.
in that porn movie, even in her rhetoric and her words she never used before. And in the middle of sex, I stopped her
Mm-hmm.
and I says, "This is not you, and I don't want this."
Mm-hmm.
And
Because we
it ma-
immediately think we start to think we have to compete.
that's my whole point.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is my whole point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mentioned this story because he don't want an ever happily ever after with the failed attraction. He
Mm-hmm.
just wants his rocks tickled, and then he's done, and then he wants another vacation with her, and then he's done, and he wants vacation with her. But with his wife, he wants again. I know you interrupted me on that part. I was saying about his mom. He wants his mother, and it's not that word called Oedipus. There's a complex called Oedipus complex.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what he wants. And Oedipus, King, I think his name was King Oedipus. He was
Mm-hmm.
he was romantically in love with his mom, his mother. So some women would look at this man having an Oedipus complex. No, that's not what he has. All his first love was his mother.
Mm-hmm.
From the he was in her belly for 9 months. There was a bond there before he was even born.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the bonding from the time he was born up until he left the house. And so he is looking for the nurture.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking for that protector and all these things that his mother did for him. And that's why in the book I kept saying there's a little boy in
Mm-hmm.
all men. And the
I agree.
mama, yes, and the
Mm-hmm.
mama knows when that boy is acting out.
Mm-hmm.
And so a good woman know when her husband or her man, she see the
Mm-hmm.
little boy when it comes out, and then when it hides back in the closet, she sees it. And then when it comes out, you got to know what to do with it.
Right.
And when he knows that you know what to do with it, he ain't going nowhere. It's in there. The mistress, the fatal attraction woman, she knows all that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the opposite of a player. She's a
Mm-hmm.
pimp player, all that. She knows him, and she works on his heart, his brain, his mind, his flesh, everything.
Mm-hmm.
She gives him, but it's a facade
Mm-hmm.
that can't last. There's no foundation there. Phoebe gives him the foundation. She just don't give him a whole lot of the fluff.
And Phoebe is the soulmate.
The soulmate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
when
last,
you, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, lastly, there's a fifth girl that I discovered while I was writing the book.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead. You want to ask a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask you when you counsel men who have found themselves, about to enter into the danger zone with either one of the women, A, B, C, or D. What's the first thing you say?
Oh yeah, well, I see them. I see the women,
Mm-hmm.
many times, if not most times, I see what he sees because I'm a man,
Mhm.
and I can
Mhm.
tell you see her as a mistress.
Mm. Mhm.
I can tell the way you treat her and the way she's acting.
Mhm.
I would have put her in that same bracket. That's a mistress.
Mhm.
So I would encourage him to see himself first,
Mhm.
not trying to analyze her. He needs to see himself first. To thine own self be true, Shakespeare. It is
Mhm.
so true, and I think it has biblical principles as well.
Mhm.
But he needs to see himself and look at his past because men are creatures of habit, and we would pick up the same type of woman.
Mhm.
Ask me how I know.
Hmm.
Because, because if you look at my past relationships, you would think they all were related because they had
Mm.
the same character.
Mhm.
And most of the ones that I had were Phoebe-ish because I wanted my mom.
Mhm. Okay.
I wanted my mother, and most of my brothers wanted my mother too because we had a very wonderful mother.
Yeah.
And a man who was honest with you, he'll
Mhm.
tell you. Women can't stand that because then she doesn't see what he sees, and she looks at the negative part, you
Mhm.
know. And men mess it up by saying, "My mother wouldn't do that. My mother wouldn't do that."
Mm.
That makes it worse. And she'll
Mhm.
say, "I'm not your mama."
Mhm.
Well, he looking for his mother, but he don't know how to express what he's looking for. So he will always compare you to mom, like my daughter compares her boyfriend to her
To
father.
you. Oh, to your father. To you.
Yeah, which is me
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm still is. I still take my daughter on dates, what have you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Until I
Mhm.
give her away, I'm
Aw.
still her man.
Yeah.
And when she moved out of my house just a few weeks ago, she moved
Mm.
out of my house and went to her home. The first thing she said, "Dad, you still my man. You got to come over and check on me."
Yeah.
Someone else out there who don't have a critical mind would hear that and say, "Oh, that's nasty."
Mm. Mhm.
But you don't understand what she's saying here.
Yeah.
I was her protector. I'm the man who, whenever she needed anything, she went to me because there was no man. And then when there was a man, I said,
Mhm.
"Well, y'all ain't married, so there's still things even though y'all got babies, y'all
Mhm.
still ain't married."
Mhm.
So in God's eyes, I I'm still responsible for you.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
Yeah, so that's why during the wedding ceremony, the father walked her down the aisle, and then
Right.
he gives his man away. So
Right.
you still belong to me, and she understands that. So she doesn't pull on him
Mhm.
for when she's in a bind, she pulls on her father, especially for finances. She'll pull on me because
Mhm.
I'm responsible for her. Now she does allow him to do things. Well, he's
Mhm.
actually a great father.
Mhm.
The father of her children. He's a great father.
Mhm.
But not that great of a boyfriend. But she sees his flaws because she compared him to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. I
So
do.
so it doesn't make sense that a woman can understand this analogy
But
because
not the mother and the and the husband.
I think you're getting it now.
I am. And
Mm,
it's reminding me of my daughter and her relationship with my former husband. It's the exact same thing.
yeah,
She is a daddy's girl from the top of her head to the soles of her feet.
yeah.
And always has been. She's almost 40 years old and she always will be. So I understand that dynamic. I was like that with my dad and my stepdad.
Mhm.
So I get that. So but so the mother's husband thing is not so weird to me now because I see it in a way that's not toxic. I was thinking
Yeah,
about it in a way that was, he has romantic feelings for his mama. But now I
mm.
see there's a reverence there. There's an honor there. He loves the nurturer in her. And so
That's
he
it.
looks for a woman that has that. Yeah, that
That's
makes sense.
exactly it, and I'm glad we
Mhm.
got to this point, and I
Yeah.
brought that back because I didn't want the people in the comment section being confused of what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
It's important because Jesus would make parables and say things, and he
Mhm.
knew that the disciples didn't know how to handle what he was saying. He
Mhm.
told them to eat his flesh
Mhm.
and drink his blood,
Mhm.
and that freaked them out. and the scripture says that these disciples that were with him left him and never
Mm,
returned. They thought it was despicable that a man would say, "Eat me."
mhm, mhm,
He would even talk about marriage and says, "Those of you who can receive this message, receive it." He knew that man could not. There are men who just didn't understand what he was saying,
mhm,
especially when he talked, his analogies and his parables. So when I sometimes I take a page from Jesus and
mhm,
say things that normally in our societal norms, a man don't say what I say.
mhm.
But I have to say it that way so there will be some kind of shock value in it.
Mm.
But
Yeah, you got that down pat.
I have to shock it into you. And what
Mhm,
I do when that happens, out of 100 people might have heard it, 30 people will walk away, they're gone. And the remnants are left, and they will take this message with them, and it will build healthy relationships once they realize that the man that they have talk just like I do, or he think
mhm,
like I do. He may
mhm,
not talk because he don't know how to say it the way I.
mm, mhm,
So this book, wives have taken this book home, studied it, and used that tactics on their men, and it changed in their marriages. They would come to
mm,
me in my church and tell me, I'm
mhm.
talking to older mothers, will come to me and says, "Brother Jones, I read chapter so and I tried it. And
Yeah,
and it caused my husband to take uh pause at what I was saying or doing, and he
mhm,
wanted to know more, and that opened up the window for me to open up your book and read it with him. And
mhm,
when we would read it, he would be like, "Wow, that's me, that's me, that is what I've been trying to tell you, babe, that's me right there." And then she
yeah,
would say, "I didn't know that was you, but I needed some." She says, one woman told me, "I bought so many books on relationships and none of those books helped me because I was trying to fix me.
mhm,
No, I was trying to fix him. I was trying to
mhm,
fix him in these relationship books. But in this book, I saw who he really was as he
yeah,
saw me,
right.
as he saw me." And one woman says, "I thought I was Phoebe,
Mhm.
but I actually was the side chick."
I think all women wanna be Phoebe,
They all want to be,
but we're not.
but
We're
you're
not.
not. You're
Yeah,
not at you because you can't try so hard to be that.
mhm,
It's really how he sees you,
yeah.
And
Okay.
so
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
can transform into Phoebe, like I said,
Right.
I would say in the book. It could
Mhm,
transform overnight. It's just that you've got to into me see. You got to
mhm,
see through his heart,
mhm,
hear his heart. That's
mhm.
why I say tell women, take him for a walk. You guys don't really talk. When you talk, then you start going into a very dangerous place. You start arguing and what have you. Take him for a walk and take him to an environment because that little boy is coming out. And when
Mhm.
that boy comes out, you have a small window of opportunity to talk to that little boy because the batteries are going to run out.
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear. And you take him to an environment. That's why Jesus took the disciples to the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus would retreat to places and take them places, okay, to vacate away from the norm to a place
Mhm.
where this the whole surrounding, the transfiguration, when he took the three men up on the mountain, then they saw things and they wanted to honor him by building stuff for him. Like, don't do that. All right. Those three men, he can only take those three men up there. The other 12, the other out of the 12, he couldn't take them up there because they couldn't see it.
Mhm.
But these three men, he saw something in them. You got to take men to places
Mhm.
that they can see, then they can hear your heart, and it could cause some kind of change.
Wow. That Toy Story effect is such a great analogy.
Yeah.
That is a great analogy. And this book is full of great analogies. It is available on Amazon, and the link to the Amazon page is in the description box of this book. But how can people stay connected to you, Sir Walter?
Sure, they can go to the Sir Walter Jones Show. You can type that on Google, and you'll find me everywhere. The Sir Walter Jones Show. So it'll take you to my YouTube. It'll take you to my Patreon. It'll take you to my Amazon books. That way, you ain't got to go from link to link to link to link, different links. Just type in that on Google, and I am everywhere.
Literally
Literally, I'm
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. I am.
Well, thank you again for being here tonight. This was a great show. We probably can't air it at 6 though. We're gonna have to go at 8.
Yeah, this is not prime time.
Put the children in the bed, y'all, because this is a grown folks conversation.
Grown
But
folks.
I love the practicality of it. I love the way you explain how to take the information and the messaging in the book and apply it to your own relationship, your own marriage in a way that turns the spotlight on you
Yes.
and takes it as a woman and takes it off of him.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Takes it off
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, on you. The just sit and analyze
Mhm.
things better than what you have been doing. If this is my closing statement.
Yes, it
Just
is.
I know you. Just sit
Mhm.
like you do when you pray.
Yeah.
Don't do all of the talking.
Mhm.
Hear me, come close, you all.
Mhm.
When you're talking to God, don't do all the talking.
Yeah.
You gotta let him talk too.
Mhm.
And so when you're praying, sometimes when I'm praying, I'll pray for a while and then I'll stop
Mhm.
and I'm quiet because if you're both talking, you ain't hearing. And then you let him speak. This
Mhm.
is how we should be in our relationships.
Yeah.
Let the man express himself. Just let him. I don't care. Women often would say, "Tell me the truth. I want you to be vulnerable and tell me the truth."
Mhm.
He
We
won't be
lying.
right away, but you are lying through your teethuses because when he finally tells you the truth, you
Mhm.
punish him.
Mhm.
Once you punish him, he will never be that
Yeah.
expressive to you ever again. You did
Yeah.
yourself a disjustice. You never
Mhm.
do it again. So when you say something like that, you better be careful what you ask for. All
Mhm.
right. But when you take him to that environment, it's safe environment of and filled with beauty. And that
Mhm.
could be anywhere. Because when I was married, we were sitting on the couch watching TV, and my wife asked me, "Hey, what can you tell me what is the most precious moment that you've had with me since we've been married?" And I
Mhm.
went all around the world with her, meaning, oh, when we took that trip to Miami, and when we took that trip over there, and we went to that steakhouse restaurant. I went all over the world. And then I asked her, "So, babe, what about me? What's the most precious moment you've ever spent with me?" You know what she said?
Hmm.
"What we doing right now?" I said, "Oh,"
Mm.
she said, "Sitting on this couch watching TV." I'll never forget if I don't ever remember anything in my marriage. I remember that moment.
Mhm.
Um, she was trying to tell me something. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. You got to
Yeah.
travel around the world for me to enjoy my man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that simple. It's the simple
That's
things.
yes, the simple things. And so you take him somewhere, and that could mean on the couch.
Mhm.
It could mean in the bathroom, in the laundry room, wherever that special place is that you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, and
Yeah.
women know, they know.
Yeah. We do.
Take him to that place and then talk to him and listen to that man's heart.
Mhm.
And then when he puts it out there, he's vulnerable. Now, what you gonna do with it? Because when a man hurt me at church, I went home. The pastor hurt me. He hurt my
Mhm.
feelings so bad.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
drove home and I went to my wife and I sat at her feet.
Mm.
I was hurting so bad.
Mm.
I just sat at her feet and I was expecting her to talk about how bad he did to me and how horrible of a man he was.
Mhm.
And she didn't say nothing, but she
Mhm.
rubbed my head. She said, "Baby, you are the greatest man I've ever met. You are
Oh.
powerful. You are one of God's greatest servants." I mean, I'm like, "What? Tell me more." Me? Me? Yeah, baby. When you stand, I can tell when you stand, the strength come into your. I'm like, me? You talking about me? She saw the boy who needed mama.
Yes.
And instead of her tearing down that pastor,
Mhm.
all the horrible things he did, she built me up.
Yeah. Well,
This
we're
is
gonna have to bring you back for volume 2.
yeah, because there's so much more than this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. This was a very, very good show. Thank you so much for being here. I would highly recommend, if you can, you check out Sir Walter's Patreon community. It's a private community. I am part of the Patreon community. I am an official bunker. The community is called the Bunkers. Yes, because I want to learn how to invest in the stock market. I want to learn how to create additional streams of income. And there are different tiers that you can join, or you can join all the tiers all at the same time. There's a piano room, and there's the upper room where we get Bible study, and then there's the finance room. So I want to learn everything, because I want to learn how to add some income to what I already have, and create some new streams of income. And Sir Walter teaches that in his private Patreon community. So I would highly, highly recommend that you check that out. And it's what, $12 a month?
For everything, yes.
For everything. Okay.
For everything.
$12, y'all. Come on. Y'all need to become a bunker, because we over there learning stuff so we can retire early.
Right.
We ain't trying to work till we 79. Right. So I highly encourage you to check out Sir Walter's Patreon page. You can do a search for Patreon, patreon.com/Sir Walter Jones. Yes? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Patreon.com/Sir Walter Jones. Yes.
Okay. All right, y'all. Have a great night. Be good. God bless. Good night.
Bye-bye.
She worth it. She worth it. She worth it.